mean, you talk about a guy that's been in the league for so long and also has been in the same defense for so long. Pat is a guy that plays so many roles throughout our defense that you can ask him a question almost about any position, from D-line stuff to linebackers to safeties, and he'll pretty much know the answer. So I think when you have a guy that's that smart, and then you mix that obviously with his ability, you have to be pretty athletic. And obviously he's a bigger, stronger guy that can play those roles. He's been huge. So I know for me getting there over these last few years, Chung came in the league the same year as I did. It's been fun to be able to be in the same meeting room, talk football with him and get to know him.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Yep.
Followed by Evan Lazar.
Jason, thanks for doing this. Sounds like you're doing well, and as well as you can be with the little, there's kids in the background, which is always nice. Just two questions. One, kind of a follow-up to what Ben was saying, from a guy who's in the facility in a rehab perspective, going forward, and it sounds like the NFL is trying to go forward. We've all been wondering, will there be any safety concerns? What are your concerns? And maybe you could allay those fears as you kind of have been to the facility, and what's that been like?
Right now, it's been normal. I guess normal in the sense that the numbers are so few that it's not anything that is different than anything that's going on throughout our country right now. You go to a grocery store, everybody has on a mask, has on gloves. You can't go to a gas station without someone doing the same. So I think in that regard, it's been normal to the practices that's gone on throughout every community. And I think moving forward, I think we all have fears. I think for me, fear of going back to work is no different than the fear of walking in a restaurant and sitting down to have dinner. So I think this is something that we're all going to have to deal with. At some point, we're going to start back up. Massachusetts and every other state around the country, as some in the South have already began to open up. So I think as players, we're going to go through the same fears that a lot of other people in our country are going to go through. And you gotta have to figure it out the best way. And when they tell us to come back to work, we have to, as individuals, make sure, hey, to my standard, I feel like, hey, this is safe enough. I'm ready to commit to it. I'm ready to do it. And if not, you got to go about whatever you feel is best for your family.
And my second question is just a thought on you and Devin being nominated for the 2020 Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award.
Very humbling. I think when you can be mentioned in the same sentence with Muhammad Ali, and obviously his impact on the world with how talented he was in his given sport, but what he was able to do off the field and the impact that he was able to make is huge. So just to be mentioned in the same sentence is a very humbling experience for me and Devin. I think the stuff we do off the field, you don't really do it for recognition or anything of that nature. But when you can do those things and be recognized, and it can bring more attention and more awareness, possibly more funds to the causes that you're fighting for, it makes a huge difference.
Thank you.
Look, we might have lost the video portion of this, but we'll keep going. Evan Lazar is next, followed by Nora Prince-Scott.
Hey, Jason, I just wanted to ask you quickly, just how are you feeling physically, and do you feel like you'll be a full go if and when training camp does start?
I'm feeling good. Just taking it step by step. Obviously, with everything going on, it's been a process where there's nothing to rush back to because you can't see anything in the very near future. There's no practice to look forward to. There's no mini camp to look forward to. So I'm feeling pretty good and just working every day to get better.
My actual question was just about how we hear a lot about how you guys train at both corner, safety, some guys play multiple positions. Just what has that experience been like for you in the Patriots defense, maybe learning a little bit of safety and corner? And I know your brother, did kind of the same thing as well.
For me, it's been fun. I think the mental aspect of it, that challenge as an older guy, has been really fun to put that on myself to see when we're now at this point being in my third season, when we're going over installs or doing things, I try to challenge myself and, all right, can I learn the entire defense? Can I understand what the nose technique or the defensive tackle is doing in this blitz and why he's doing it, and understand the call that Hightower may make when he sees this or that. I think when you're able to do that, it makes, whether you're playing corner, safety, nickel, all of those positions, it makes it relatively easy because you understand in what ways the offense is trying to attack you, and you understand from a defensive perspective, what are you giving up and the things that you have to defend against. So for me, it's been a blast getting here, being able to play inside, be able to play outside, and challenge myself and also challenge the guys around me. I feel like as an older guy, if Dev, myself, Chung, of all of us are able to learn multiple roles and do things, it kind of sets a standard in a room where we're all trying to be as versatile as possible.
Thanks, Jason.
The next question, Nora Princiati, followed by Mike Reese.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. So obviously we do not have a lot of sports right now, but just a couple of things that, your old teammate Tom Brady played some golf for charity over the weekend. There's been a little bit of soccer. I'm just wondering if you've been watching any of the things that have been starting up or still going on, and if anything has struck you about, the creative ways that different leagues have tried to do a little bit, or, some of the out-of-the-box stuff like the match and everything, and just if anything had struck you and if you've been seeing any of that.
The most sports I've watched during this thing is I'll go on NBA TV, and sometimes they're playing old NBA games. I watched Allen Iverson in a playoff game way back when versus Toronto, Vince Carter, and them. So that was fun. Honestly, I'm not a soccer fan. I'm not a golf fan. The only thing I saw from TB12 and then was he split his pants at one point and he sunk a hole in one. So I was happy to see he split his pants. The next time I see him, I got to give him a hard time. But no, I haven't. I saw they had NBA 2K tournaments, Madden tournaments, and all of that other stuff. But too many kids to really sit down and watch non-live type sports that I'm really into.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mike Reese, followed by Mike Petraglia.
Awesome. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing well. What's up, Mike?
All right, everything's going well. I was thinking about what to ask you, and 2009 to 2020, in a way, you blink and it's a decade-long career, right, in the NFL. And I was curious, I don't know if you've talked about it, how much longer you sort of envision yourself continuing to do this?
I don't know. As long as it's fun and physically and mentally, I'm willing and able to do it. I think that's the big thing.